blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hello and good morning and welcome to According to Courtney. If you're first time visiting with us, I'm Courtney West. I am a doula, nurse, activist, birth nerd, all the fun things. And here on this show, we talk about everything from mental health, filling your cup, giving people their flowers, and all the fun things in between. I'm super excited today because I don't always get the opportunity to chop it up.
Indeed.
So I'm super excited to have he's our everything. He's our blast media person, our director, our everything. We got Veep with us today, and I'm super excited. It's always a fun
Good
time
morning,
when
everyone.
we have here.
Yes, indeed. This episode, I really wanted to be a part of because this guest, it's funny how you always admire someone from a distance and just appreciate their craft and their creativity, that now you get the opportunity to talk to them. So I'm sorry I had to invade your space. I apologize.
He was listen, it is all good. I was so surprised. I said, you wanna hop on? I said, that's how you know it's fire. So I'm super excited to have our guest. She is a content creator, author, cool down person. So I'm just super excited to have him come on into the space.
All right, I'll bring in Miss Ashley Paige. Good morning.
Hi, how are you guys? Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. We're good. How are you?
Good. I'm actually off work today, so.
What?
Yeah.
Like an off day? That's amazing. I love it. So welcome to According to Courtney. Every time I have a guest come, I come with the same beginning questions. It's what's your name and the origin of your name? Where are you from and your people are from? And what would you like to leave in the space today?
Lovely. So my name is Ashley. So my content creating name is Ashley Paige, but my actual name is very long. It's Ashley Van de Cruz Lampkin. So Van de Cruz is Dutch. My father's side is Guyanese, and the Guyanese were colonized by the Dutch, and that's where the Dutch last name comes from. Lampkin is my married name. So I wanted to keep Van de Cruz because a lot of the literary masterpieces that I've already released into the world, I've released them before I got married. So I wanted people to still recognize me, even with my married name. And then, of course, I didn't want to hurt my husband's feelings and be like, nah, I don't need your last name, So there was that. And then, so my dad's side, as I mentioned, is Guyanese, and my mother's side is Trinidadian.
Oh.
Yes. So I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. And in Brooklyn, you are surrounded, you are engulfed by culture. Like every block, you hear 10 different accents, and everybody's just talking to everybody like they all just They just know, they just understand one another's culture. There's
Mm.
every area has its ups, its downs, its goods, its bads. Brooklyn has certainly evolved. Um, and I don't know, I just think it's a beautiful place. I love it. I love it.
That's amazing. I love that. And then, what do you want to out of for these guests? What's the one thing you want to leave with them and for them to remember about you?
Phenomenal question. I want to be remembered as a storyteller, an author, someone who has no issue just pulling a story from thin air and turning it into a masterpiece. So that's what I'd like to leave in the world. I'd like to leave my stories, my poetry, everything that I've been able to create that will last forever and ever.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And that just is such a great opening of tell us a bit about you. What's your background? What brought you to be such an amazing storyteller?
Oh, so my passion is writing. And I remembered taking a bunch of construction paper in elementary school and folding it and stapling it and starting to write my stories then. And I just knew from my heart of hearts that I wanted to write, to tell stories. So of course I was writing stories with no plot, no ending in sight since the age of 9. You just write. And that's honestly, as absurd as that sounds, that is how I start all of my stories. I just dump everything in my brain on paper, in a notepad, on the computer. I just get it out so that the inspiration is always staring me back in my face. And I always feel like I'm in control of the direction. I don't typically write in a strategic and uniform fashion. They tell you make an outline and da 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 da. I have a very disorganized approach and it's worked for me.
I
And
appreciate that.
I love it. I love it. I definitely don't want to say that I advise everybody else to do it. I just advise everyone else to find what works for them. And I do not always believe that there is a uniform, strategic, outlined, step-by-step approach. So yeah, I wanted to write. I wanted to write stories. However, I also understood that with my family being Caribbean, they wanted you to be either a doctor or a lawyer.
Facts.
Um, so I did not want to be a lawyer. I figured let's be an OBGYN because I absolutely
Okay.
love talking about the reproductive system. I absolutely love talking about the process of bringing someone into the world, the everything.
Mm.
But then I saw that it would take about 16 years for that to happen and I was like, "Oh, what else? What else can we do?" So So I have an abundance of respect for OBGYNs, an absolute massive amount of respect for doulas, an absolute massive amount of respect for labor and delivery nurses. Um, so I decided that I would become a nurse and then pursue becoming a nurse practitioner. I just felt like that was a
Ooh.
little bit more of a realistic approach because if I'm being completely transparent, as much as I do enjoy the medical field, my passion is still in creating. And so what I really
Mhm.
wanted to be able to do was to start something that would pay the bills, get a roof over my head, keep me stable so that I wouldn't be stressed while I did pursue my dream of being a writer. And so that's where we are today. I am 10 years into being a nurse and maybe just about 5 years into being an author, a published author.
That is so amazing. And shout out to the nurse life. I respect you as being in it for 13 years. It is a feat, and I respect your family. I come from a nursing family that you will get a job, you will be able to carry the bill. So I understand You can have dreams, but you have to pay the rent at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So, if I'm correct, you also had helped people who had mental issues, and I was asking Courtney about that, and she even told me she did the same thing, and I didn't realize that. And tell us a little bit about your compassion to help people who are, challenged with mental issues.
So, my nursing career has actually never specifically been in psychiatric nursing,
Hmm.
but
In healthcare.
it is still divided. It's still psychiatric nursing and then med surg nursing, ICU, labor and delivery, pediatrics. It's all broken up. However, in the adult world, if someone comes into the hospital and they have both a medical issue and a psychiatric issue, they're not going to be placed on a psychiatric floor, they're going to be placed on a medical floor. And so you ultimately end up having to develop the skill of addressing both psychiatric illnesses and the medical issues. You have to learn how to educate on both ends without crossing a line. And that was like baptism by fire because
Mhm.
You don't know.
you just don't know, simply put. And so my very, very first year of nursing was in the ER, and there was always a section that would have people that are coming in for suicidal ideation or people who aren't necessarily suicidal, but they do feel mentally unstable. And then there are the people that are sent simply because other people do not believe that they are safe to be amongst other people. And so, in those circumstances, I had to learn how to de escalate appropriately. It's one thing to be like, you need to sit down and shut up. It's another thing to approach a mentally ill individual who has a history of schizophrenia. You can't just bust in there and be like, sit down and shut up. You have to approach lightly because they're skeptical. They could potentially be hearing things. They could potentially be seeing things. They could potentially being told by whatever they're hearing up here that they need to do something outlandish. And
I don't know.
if I'm being honest, I don't have an approach. I don't have what's the right thing to say, like a step by step. I just have a
Mhm.
gut feeling. Like, this is what I
Hmm.
remember. This is how I'm going to have to approach this. This is how I'm going to have to address this. And when the time comes. There is no preparation.
You're absolutely right. As from a former psych nurse, you got a down pack. That's exactly what it is. Is you use your gut and you have to assess everything. And people, unless you've walked in that shoes of being a nurse, people really don't understand how you learn how to stare at somebody and literally you're diagnosing people. You're like, oh, yep, here, schizophrenic, bipolar affect, okay, with high alcoholism. So you're coming in for cirrhosis of the liver, but you're having cirrhosis of the liver because you drink so much because it makes the voices stop talking to you.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. That is it.
It makes you, I feel like having being a specialty nurse, as a specialty nurse, it has helped me in so many other ways, but I always wanted to do what you did. So I did it in school when I worked in the ER and they put me in the room, the holding cell, because they're like, you like psych, let's see how well you do at it. And
Oh,
you're dealing with some stuff that you'll never see. You hear horror stories about where someone has come in and they're saying the gerbils are running around in their butts. And you're like, wait, what? Time out. Time out. Time out. What happened?
Yes.
And they're dead serious. And you're like, okay, we're gonna have to use rationale and irrational. But then the things you will see, you're like, ain't no book will ever get you ready for what
Nope.
you see in
Nope.
medicine. They
wow.
do not prepare you. It is
Nope.
like you check a box and then say, go. Okay, go.
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Nothing
it.
learned. Experience is the best teacher on that, huh?
Yes.
Oh, Yes, nursing is trial by fire, and there's a saying, and it's not always true, but it does ring true that nurses eat their young. There is some you gotta luck out. You can get some great old school nurses who gonna teach you everything they know. In my opinion, I always got an old Southern Black nurse or an island nurse. I'm gonna know it right. It's gonna be done properly, and you better get it done the right time because they're not playing with you.
Yes, that eat your young component, I definitely do feel is
A massive issue in healthcare. I just remember being in the ER as a new nurse, not knowing anything, not knowing how to approach, not knowing how to assess, not knowing how to think on my feet. It doesn't matter how grueling nursing school is. You will go from one type of grueling to another, a different type. And I just feel that me personally going into the ER, there were so many different personalities. There were people who knew how to like boss up, like put their spine in and, like, you're not doing this. And then
Yeah.
there were other people, they knew when to turn it off.
and then there were other people that were like,
You do not need to be in the ER. Like, you are crying every 10 seconds. I don't have time to be your nurse and the
Wow.
patient's nurse. I need you to find a corner and pull it together.
and then there were just the other nurses who just,
I don't know, like they always had that bull in them. And it
that frustrated me because I'm like, I need you to just take a minute, like,
take that off, hear where I'm coming from, listen to what I'm saying, like I have a question. And being in the ER for the first part of my career, I'm telling you that honestly made everything kind of seem not so bad. Literally everything.
Facts. But that's what the ER teaches you is that if you can make it in the ER, you can make it anywhere. The ER will set you up for it. You be excited about med surg. What? Oh, I just gotta fix it. You want your pills? Cool. Not a problem.
Don't
I got
worry.
you. We having a
Stay
baby?
in
Cool.
the bed.
Yes.
Stay there.
Don't follow me. I'll come to you.
No.
But it's a life. And so how do you balance the high, because nursing is a different type of stress that a lot of people don't understand. How do you balance the stress that comes with nursing and the passion of you being an author?
The story time. I do the story time. It's definitely a beautiful way to it's beautiful because I feel like there are so many other nurses
that are relating. Like the comment section is
very mixed. It's mixed with people like, are you sure that happened? And you want to be like, how long have you been a nurse? And they're like, oh, I actually don't work in nursing. Okay, then get out my comment section. And then there's
Yes.
then there's the other avenue where they're like sharing their story. They're like, girl, I remember when that happened to me. And I'm like, yes, you get it. It's the relatability. And then there's also just being able to have a support system. My husband, he is also a creative. So to be able to come home from doing nursing, complain about it, and then have someone that is like ready to switch gears into a creative mindset, it's a beautiful support system. It's a lovely thing to have. And I don't know, when I'm at work, it's just, you just got to switch. I feel that I have just gotten to the point where I have mastered the art of just switching into that mode and staying there until 7:30 p.m.
Facts. I love it. It is. You have to put on a whole different suit. Like, is it? I'm curious for you. Is it similar? When you put your scrubs on, you are now nurse you. Versus when you don't have your scrubs on, I'm like, yes, I can get you. Let's go.
Yes, I am two very different people. Like, I'll tell you, when people run into me and they're like, oh, I remember you from story time at the hospital. I'm like, okay, can you give me like just give me 2 more hours, we can talk. I don't even know what's going on with my patient right now. His H&H is low, the blood pressure is dropping. I am so glad you remember me from story time, but I need to figure this out.
Oh, I love that. I understand. People want to talk to you about, I saw you on TV and I saw you about Black maternal health. Look now. This person is ripping the walls apart. They're going crazy. I need some shots to be given. Do you want to fight now? You want to do this? Talk to me about that later. We're trying to save my life right now. You want to live? We need to live together. It's trench life. I love this. Let's talk about story time, because your story times are epic.
I love it.
Story time is my diary for social media.
Your story time about your birthday, I was so related to. I'm like, girl, I feel you. That extra piece that be growing on pieces that you didn't know that you were getting extra use. I was like, yes, I feel you. This is not what's supposed to be happening.
Nobody asked for that. This is not what I asked for my birthday. This is not what I requested. I did not.
Well, happy birthday to me.
Well, you know.
Good morning, Soul Res.
Good morning. I just love how relatable you are to people. Where you're like, yes, girl, yes, I needed that. And with your story time, let me tell you, I be sitting there watching your fashion eyeglass game. I'll be like, what? Another one, and another one. You gotta give up the things. I'm like, what? How do I subscribe? How do I get these glasses? Because baby, your game of glasses are amazing.
Soul Res says, nice to meet you, Ashley. Love your story times. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, before you answer that, I want you to hold that. Before you answer that, I actually took one of your clips that I wanted to share for those who did not see a story time. This is a recent one you put out that's called Don't Do Drugs. So let's check this out real quick. This is a good one.
Story time. So some time ago, my big brother pissed me off. It's been a while, okay? It has been a while. He ain't been saying no weird shit. He ain't been doing no weird shit. And quite frankly, I haven't been having him on speakerphone. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? So my contract had just ended. My nursing contract had just ended. I was also trying to promote my comic book full time, so make sure y'all go get a copy. Anyways, it is now time for me to pick up a new contract. Whenever you pick up a new contract with another agency, you have to do the whole kit and caboodle. You got to get a physical. You got to piss in a cup and do a drug screen. You got to get your labs drawn. They got to do the titers. Do you have tuberculosis? I get to my pre-employment physical, and it appears that they are hiring a slew of people who happen to make an appointment on this day to get their pre-employment physical done. I'm waiting in there with like 7 or 8, maybe 9, maybe 10. I don't know if the room was small and it seemed like a lot, or if it was just a lot, but it seemed like a lot of people in that little waiting room. So I was like, well, I'll be here for the rest of my life. I take a seat, I whip out my phone and get ready to get into some doom scrolling, and who calls? Big brother. I answer, it's FaceTime. He wants to show me something. He says, yo, what you doing? I'm trying to show you something. Where you at? Who you with? I was like, just show me what you're trying to show me, Tevin. Come on. And he was like, why are you in a rush? What are you doing? Where you at? I said, I'm just waiting to do my drug screen. Shouldn't have said that. He was like, already? Now, my dumbass, I thought that he was referring to how frequently I have to do these, because I am always getting a new per diem or signing up with a new agency, because you could never have too much. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you want to take time off and you want to just pick up random shifts, one place doesn't have available, you can hit up like 7 other places that you're signed up with. You understand what I'm saying? Anyways, I thought that's what he was talking about. I thought he was like referring to the fact that I just did a drug screen. But I was like, no, Tevin, it's not no already. This is for a contract. And he was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He gets all close to the phone and he was like, nigga. And then he raises his voice to say, didn't I just see you snorting some shit the other day? Didn't you just have some shit up your nose the other day, Ashley? What was that white substance? I just hope that you guys have had a chance to purchase my comic book, whether it be from Amazon or dirtywordsmith.com, because at this rate, I'm going to need all the sales I can get.
Oh, don't ever call your brother in an open public area. Ever. Don't you ever call him.
Or answer.
No.
Disrespect.
That's disrespectful.
Disrespect.
Oh, that was great. That is great and very realistic. So, with all of that, let's talk about your comic book. Cause I was like, on that note, we really need to push the comic book. Tell me about your comic.
So my comic book, Namakasi. Namakasi is actually Congolese for with strength. And I picked Congolese one because, as I've mentioned, growing up in New York, I'm surrounded by such a massive amount of culture. And I just wanted this book to reflect that we will continue to reflect culture. And so one of my husband's closest friends, he's from the Republic of Congo, and he speaks French, and I took 6 years of French, and I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to ask questions, interview, try to get more information on the actual culture, and that is how we ended up with Namakasi. And so then the story itself is about this young woman in her 20s. She's in the middle of an argument. It starts out with her arguing with her partner, and he was unfaithful, and she gathered that by reading his mind. But this is the very first time anything like this has ever taken place. Anything. And it's just the robust nature of the emotions that caused that ability to now come to the forefront. And so that ends up leading to, a massive argument, and it turns into her wanting to explore this ability, figure out where it's coming from. She's now, she has been tracked by this secret society. And so every time she uses the power, she emits rays. And that is how they continue to track her. And so moving forward, like, the story will be, it'll be her essentially trying to learn how to use this ability while also warding off these villains that the secret society is like dispatching to go capture her, because she's powerful. And she has no idea that she's powerful, but they know. And there's so many other components that I am just glossing over because I'm trying not to tell the whole first issue. But
Right.
it's definitely a journey. It's a ride, and I love it.
Indeed. Excuse me. For those who don't know, or like those on the radio, you can get her comic book from dirtywordsmith.com as well as Amazon. Is that correct, Miss Ashley?
Yes, it is.
So, and for those who are able to see it, the QR code is there. You can go ahead and scan it, and that'll bring you directly to purchase it from her website. Amazing. So tell me, there's a nerd side about you as well, right? You love comic books, or are you into anime?
I am very much so into anime. I'm into cartoons. I'm into animation. I'm a child.
Amen. Me too. What's your current anime roster that you're into?
Okay, so there was one that I just watched but did not complete with my husband. He finished it without me, which is disrespectful. But it's Devil May Cry.
That's a very good one. Very good one.
Yes.
Very good. Have you seen? Forgive me, Courtney. I'm about to
Oh, no, I'm letting you live in your element. He was waiting this whole time. He's like, okay, nursing,
Hey,
babies, all that.
I am
Let's
nerd
go.
bonding. Forgive me, nerd bonding moment. Have you guys seen Solo Leveling?
Oh, yes, but not all of it. So don't tell me. Don't
I ain't
tell
telling
me
you
anything
nothing,
else. Okay.
but I'm telling you, season 2. I didn't think it can get better than season 1, but season 2 is the best. So definitely check that out.
Okay.
Oh my
Good,
gosh!
good, good, good.
And then
I'm
season
excited.
3 will be coming up eventually. Oh, as a matter of fact, a movie will be coming. I think it's the end of this year. What about Demon Slayer. Have you seen that one?
So
I
there's a
I
movie.
have.
Yes. I
Hmm.
actually saw that years ago. Like I went to a drive-in theater and watched it there. And that was,
Okay.
so my husband's also a nerd, but he's also a hard
Hmm.
worker. And so he was asleep next to me in the car. And I'm just,
And it'd be the
I
best
am
sleep
just
too. So no hate.
yes, yes. That is when
I saw Demon Slayer. And that's honestly like, when I first started watching it, it was hard for me to get into it,
Right.
Mhm.
especially because of the tragedy. I don't want to give too much away, just in case somebody still has
Yeah.
that on their roster. But the the tragedy that was
Hmm.
associated with the way that whole story even started, um, and
I'll ask her.
I don't know. I just after that though, I was hooked. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
this is it.
And Sorez asked, "Have you seen Pantheon?" There's a Netflix show called Pantheon. They have 2 seasons.
yeah,
I think I know what we're talking about. Is it that like computer show where like they're uploading people's minds? Is that it or no?
That's the one. You hit
Yes,
it.
that's crazy.
Let me
That
ask you
and
this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Let me ask you
no.
this. That's one anime that I've ever watched that I'm like, that crap could happen for real.
That's crazy. Yes,
Oh
Uh-uh.
man.
I'm
that's why it's
I'm
so
good.
scary.
like there's such a massive amount of control and manipulation in ways that you would not be able to pick up on. You know what I'm saying? Like it honestly makes you start to question everything in real life. You stop watching that.
My
I
God.
paused.
That so many times.
Yeah. It was really, in short, Courtney. Let's just say in a nutshell, they take smart people. Those of power were taking over them and uploading their brains to, let's say, the internet,
Oh,
so that
no.
they can pretty much have access to them and use that powerful brain for whatever, weaponize it, if you will. And it was like, wow. And
That's
then
too realistic for this
oh yeah,
times and
Yes.
like I think I'm listening to y'all like in my head like not cool. That sounds real realistic right now, and I don't
I'm
like it.
telling you,
I don't like it. I'm cool. I'm cool over
I'm
here.
telling you. And then and then in the real world, they're wondering why all these crazy things are happening, and then it starts to get out of control, and it's chaotic, it's stressful. But it's a very good one. Shout out to SoulRes for that question. So, Miss Ashley, one thing I wanted to tell you, what we do here at Blast Music, our platform is created to help independent artists as well as spoken word poets and comedians and creatives like you to get exposure. And I have one of our wonderful artists that we're going to showcase. Her name is Tanika Share. Have I played her for you, Courtney?
I'm not sure.
Well, this song is called Make Room, and I love the song, so let's check it out.
Cause I'm thirsty. Do the right now is the worst show. Call my sister on the drop, but talk to my niece first, though. Can't hang out without hearing her sing her favorite verse, show. Stop a gas, grab a snack, subtle thoughts of you. Push 'em quick to the back since it's still so new. Don't wanna jump the gun, but just someone I could know deeper. But only time will tell me if you really are a keeper. Stop me dead in my tracks. Tell me how you would've did that. Now you got me acting brand new. Got me all in my bag. Working ain't got nothing on it, but it's the same thing in my heart. Can't wait to see you again. Sorta gave up on that, but if you ain't made of glitter, I just might reconsider. Cause I like having you around. You make me lose my nervous energy, baby. And yes, I'm still a G. I know it might be soon, but I don't mind making room. Cause I like having you around. Yeah. I'm at the age right now where I'm pursuing peace. We living in and out. I got the cycle on rinse and repeat. Too many times have tried to take me out, but I still gain defeat. Shutting them all down by force like control or delete. I know you see the point that's key. It's me having the option. Letting you in my bubble only means that I've been watching. I take my space as serious. NASA takes the satellites. I'm out this world, not all shit access me because I'm kryptonite to every Superman wanna be. Frontin' in front of me, pretending like they man enough, but got feminine tendencies. I'd rather be home by myself, protecting my energy, waiting for the most high to finally start aligning me with you. I don't know, maybe, I mean, you do got a warm, familiar feeling and a dope kindredness too. And if I'm telling the truth, pom-poms, I'm rooting for you. If it's true with other panic, I'm willing to make the room. Can we see you again? Gotta give up the man if you ain't really glitter. I just might reconsider cause I like having you around. You make me. That's right, I'm still a G. I know it might be soon, but I don't mind making room cause I like having you around. Yeah.
Boom. And that's my girl,
Beautiful.
Share, but make room. And if you are an independent artist or spoken word poet or up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you too can go to blastmusic247.com, register as an unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. So right there is the QR code, scan it, and it will bring you to blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. Yes, indeed. So, I love that song. That is like one of my favorites from her. Now, check this out. Tanika Share is actually Lauryn Hill's backup singer.
Oh, awesome.
So she's
Love.
she's a represent to my Philly girl. She's really, really cool. She is an awesome person. And there is plenty of amazing artists that we get to talk to and socialize with. So I would love for you to be a part of the family. And the beautiful thing it is, all we do is promote. We don't own anything of yours. We're not trying to take anything. No, we're trying to just let the light be shined in areas that, like here, this is a, if you will, a doula show, but it's still an opportunity for your talent to be shown. So we like to share everything to everyone. But anyway. So
I love how he had to throw that pitch in there because that was good though. I was like, go ahead, Troy, get it in there. It's like, the lovely, you did good. The lovely part about Blast that I really appreciated is your show is your own. Yes, I talk about birth work, but I talk about whatever I feel like. Sometimes it's just about related to your people, and just like, or sometimes you just need a good little story time and you want to share with other people. And just be like, look, I need to tell you. So we're going to do like professional trauma dumping, but it's all packaged well. So it's whatever you want it to be. And it's fun. So if you guys are just joining us, welcome to According to Courtney. We are here today working in and getting to know the amazing Ashley Paige, who is an author, creator, nurse, who's just has this amazing comic book, and I get to have the opportunity to have Beat because we are all geeking out over here having this amazing
We are.
guest. So
So I'm of course I'm the nerd guy. So tell us the history of why you chose Dirty Wordsmith as your website.
Oh, I'd love to. So, I actually started my writing career with a romance mystery. It's actually called Confident Sensuality. And I actually started writing that story in middle school. And my experience with romance in real life
Morning, Carla.
is um it didn't exist in middle school. I mean in a high school. I didn't know anything. I was writing from imagination and from the shows that I would watch and the romantic comedies that I would watch. And so when I came to California, my first contract, I found an editor and she was like, "Ashley, this is horrible. This is pretty bad." And I was like, "Okay, thank you. Thank you so much." And she was like, "Have you?" And another thing is, we're about to get real personal. I was still a virgin, like well into my 20s. So there wasn't
okay.
any, like, I couldn't, when you're writing a legitimate romance mystery, you cannot write it without the frisque scenes. You can't do it.
Right.
And I didn't have anything to add. I couldn't contribute. So
No hands-on experience. Got it.
no. So she was like, "I just need you to live your life a little bit. Take a minute, like just take a second. Let's, get you watching some movies that have like realistic approaches to love and relationships and then not so realistic love really approaches and just take a second, do some research and then rewrite this whole piece of shit." And so I I had to do it. I had to do it. And so around that time, I had met my husband. I did not end up leading a promiscuous life like she encouraged that I do, but it
Oh
definitely
wow.
did help on the romance realm, I I just sort of when I started experiencing the feeling of how it felt to fall in love and how it felt to like really be around someone that you want to take up your space, that really heavily, massively influenced my approach to the story. Um it fueled my imagination, and so it helped with Zyla, which is a storytelling podcast. It helped with stories that I told on vocal media, like I just opened, like it just turned into like all of these romantic mystery stories, and I felt like Dirty Wordsmith was the best way to reflect that I liked writing those kinds of stories. And so that's where Dirty Wordsmith came from.
I love it.
That is so awesome. And so I already knew where you were going with that. And I love how men process things. That's like, yes, no. What she's telling you to do is go get some experience. Go see some things, go do some things, and then come back and write about it. But I love that you can say you got to build that off of your spouse. That's really something's very special about that.
Facts.
Yes, indeed.
That is beautiful. So as a matter of fact, we're actually going to go back to your comic book, and you had signed up with Black Girl Comics. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that experience and what can we expect for issue 2.
Oh, so Black Girl Comics is a comic publishing company, and she is the owner, the founder, CEO. She's really cool. She has her own line of comics as well. She's really big on promoting the Black and Brown community and really trying to get those stories out there. Really just trying to tell people that superheroes can look a certain way and still accomplish and still be powerful. Um, and I love it. I love it. I love the way it was presented. So, yes, now we are actively working on issue 2. Um, I'd like to say about 80% of the way done with issue number 2. And I don't know, I'm really excited to release it. I'm really excited about everything that we have planned to release and promote.
I am so living vicariously through her life right now because it's like these are all the beauty of what I have, what I do now, Ashley, is I'm able to content create as well, but I do it in music form. Like I already knew I respect country music enough to not create a podcast using my hands. So I actually got an actual country music star that does our country and western podcast.
Oh, wow.
Rock, we have a rock and metal one, which I actually am open to rock and metal because I love it. But at the same token, I have someone that hosts that, and he's killing it. He's doing a great job. We have a hip hop one, which I'm definitely involved in that, and I have Soul Res, who's a part of that, and being involved in your creativity, it is such a blessing. It's like you never run out of energy. You always have energy. It's not a job. And that's why I tell my kids, if you can find your passion and do it, you'll wake up never working. You would be doing a hobby, if you will. So does this comic give you that same kind of energy that your creative juices are flowing? You probably finished 20 episodes already, right?
Oh my God. I have a whole outline. Everything is just laid out. It's
Just a matter of writing the story.
my problem is that I get too excited.
And I start actually missing out on the components of a story that
Make it a story. I'm just like, here's the story,
and I just vomit it out. And it's like, okay, Ashley, just write
the actual story down.
so that we can get this published. So that's my problem. That is my problem.
My problem is that I'm a little too excited, and that's why I actually do have to like
Sit down and force myself into an organized fashion because I'm a little too married
to the unorganized approach
of writing.
I understand that because you're creative. You're like, okay, I did it, and now you have to make it
That's right.
palatable for everyone. It's like, okay, wait, there has to be beginning, middle, and end, and then you got to move it around. And I write like that. I move like that. I'm like, okay, I have this idea. What? I'm like, wait. And that's what the best part about what I love about working with V. He is I tell people that everything I don't want to do, he does. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, here it is. This is what I'm thinking. Fix it. And so and he does such a great job. He's like, Courtney. And he's good about it. It's like, you do whatever you want to. But can we make it like this? I'm like, you can make it like this.
I don't want to do
it. Then I will follow suit after you fix it. Thanks. I appreciate it. So I get it.
This is the equivalent of your big brother. This is my little sister right here. So.
Absolutely. I love it. It'll be for anything. Like, Troy, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. So he's like, okay, what does that mean? Well, what it means is, are you busy? And then I will give you emotional support while you fix my stuff. He's so good about it. So I get it. But it's also amazing to know that of all the people you chose to work with, you made sure to get someone who really sees your work and sees the importance of that. And I applaud you on that, especially now. That's so important. I would love to. How did you meet them and how did you connect with them for your comic?
Black Girl Comics?
Yes.
So the way Instagram, I believe, kind of sort of works is the more you talk about things that you love and the more you post about things that you love, the more it gives that to you. And so I
Right.
wasn't even following her, but I was talking about my comic book a lot. I was talking about writing a lot. I was talking about my Black main character a lot. And so she just popped up on my feed. And we just started, we had already connected in the past over something else, but it wasn't under Black Girl Comics. And so I reached out to her and I was like, oh, you're such and such. And she's like, yes, I also have this company now, da 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 da. And I was like, okay, well, don't mind if I just go ahead and submit my manuscript. And so that was how the ball started rolling.
That's so cool. I thank you sometimes for the algorithms. Algorithms be connecting people from all
Yep.
over. So I found it interesting that, when, we brought you up and everything else, and he's like, how do you know this person? And then I looked in my algorithms and I'm like, I've been following her for a while. Just that you didn't put things together. You'd be like, oh, well, thank you, Instagram. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
So, what is next for Miss Ashley Page? I'm trying to think if I touched everything because I know I wanted to make sure we talked about Black Girl comics, um, your story time. We talked about your nursing. Oh, I know what I missed, and that's what I wanted to because Sunshine, she would kill me. I want to talk about your poetry.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been writing poetry?
Oh, all my life. But I just became a published poet in 2021. And the first book of poetry that I released is called Love Never Fails. And um, that was really more about self-love. It definitely does have like an intimate approach, but it's really just going through like the process of healing, heartbreak, finding yourself, picking yourself back up, and putting yourself back together in a way that does not force you to be defined by the heartbreak or by the love. And then
Mm,
acknowledging how many different forms of heartbreak there are. And I just kind of used the poetry and like little snippets of like moments in life, to put in between like um collections of poetry, and so it just
mm.
turns into like one story, told through poetry and prose. And then Letters to the Ocean is available for pre-order on my website, and that's my second book of poetry, and that one
Nice.
is a little bit more raw and emotional.
Alrighty. Yeah, Sunshine, she has a podcast that she does all spoken word and poetry. And if I was to let an actual poet come in here and not get any flowers, Sunshine would be on me. So
Absolutely. Sunshine is amazing. And I know after we get off, I'm going like, I need to pre-order this book because I love, you're taking it to the ocean. That's very I'm from Florida, so I'm a water girl. So, when you take it to the ocean, it means a lot of different things, especially for our island African diaspora people. It's like, well, it's real when you say, okay, I'm taking it to the ocean and what that means. So for you, what does that title mean for you?
Oh
And why
my
did you
God.
pick it?
Yes. So it's very symbolic. My grandmother is a very spiritual woman. I run to her for a lot of things. She's 92 and she's bound to live forever. I don't care what anybody
I love
says.
it.
And, um, she has taught me how to release things in ways that still allow me to feel like I've addressed it, like not in a just let it go, just brush it off, but in a very spiritual approach, like, and the ocean and the moon are both very symbolic and powerful components to my grandmother. My grandmother does associate certain things with the moon phases or with the tides. And I wanted it to, I wanted to incorporate my grandmother in some capacity. And I don't know. I felt like it was really important for me to incorporate the ocean. And in a lot of the poems, I do talk, there are a lot of metaphors and similes that bring in nature, the rain, the ocean, the moon, the sun, the stars. It means a lot. It means a lot to me.
That's so beautiful. And I love that you incorporated your grandmother into that, and that's so special. I, as a big grandmother baby, it is one of those things like you expect them to live forever. They're supposed
Yeah.
to be here until the end of time because when anything is really real, you bring it to your grandma, you take it to the water. That's how you know it's real. If you go to your grandma and she's like, baby, take that to the water, take it there. It's like, oh, okay. I'm gonna go deal with that, and I'll come on back. You're like, yeah, we'll talk after you take it to the water because you got to get that together. So that's absolutely beautiful.
Awesome. So, did you have anything else, Courtney? I'm sorry.
Yup, them glasses. That's my last
Oh,
seal of the deal. Them glasses. I'm like, yup.
yes.
I didn't forget. I knew what I was gonna end on. I'm like, I think you're amazing. We know where to find you. Also know you can be a guest here anytime and where your book is, but I need to know where them glasses come from.
Yes, absolutely. So if you use the discount code PAIGE 10 on Zeelool, that's ZEELOOL, you can get a massive amount of glasses for a discount. And their glasses are already discounted. Zeelool. They are
I
all
have
like,
seen them. Okay.
yes, but it's also in my captions. Like in the majority of my captions, I'll put like, if you want a pair of your own snazzy glasses, use the discount code Paige 10 on Zelu. It's really sad. Like I have a thing that spins the display.
You're giving me the girl. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
I love it.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. See, we're gonna end on nothing. We started on great notes, we end on great notes, and we're so honored that you could take the time and be here with us and just really like nerd out with us and let us get to know you better.
So let me finish this information for everyone else. Right here on the screen, we have the QR code, which is directly to her website, which is dirtywordsmith.com. You can know a little bit about her, some of the other links to her YouTube and so on. But most of all, you can buy her merch. She's got hoodies, she's got t-shirts, as well as her comics. And hey, I am not mad at the hustle that she had. She even got to stand for the comic book. So I'm like, okay, she is legit. So y'all need to definitely go to her website. One more thing, that picture that I put up there, where was that taken?
That was in the sand dunes in California. So it's like, it's about maybe 2.5 hours away from LA itself. And it was a beautiful, oh my God, just beautiful. Yeah. Literally, it was an amazing experience. Very simple.
You'll get to see the full picture on our website, but I just did a little crop version. So guys, please, let's support not just our people, but an amazing creator that is bringing you some awesome content, some great poetry, tons of laughs. I mean, Ashley, I gotta give you props. There are times I had to share with my fiance. I'm like, look what she said. Look what she did. And we always crack up on your stuff. So I appreciate it because it does shoot home, because family is like the biggest, funniest thing. It's amazing how many laughs you have within your family. And I hope everyone has laughs like that with their family. And Miss Ashley, please stick around after the show is over. I just need to borrow you just for a little bit. So take it away, Miss Courtney. Go ahead and finish us up.
All right, Miss Ashley, thank you again. You are amazing. And it was lovely to just get a story time about you. And you are always welcome to come to According to Courtney, because we would love to have you again. You know, because we want to hear about your new comic book. Like, I am fascinated. I want to know about when it's all done and when we can get it, and to even just talk about some of your poetry, because you're pretty amazing.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. This was such a dope experience.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
so
glad
much.
you came with us. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, no, you're good. We're so glad you were here. And to our viewers, thank you guys for joining us again on According to Courtney. Always remember, you are loved, you are seen, you are heard, and that you matter. Until next week, you guys take care. Bye, everyone.
See you.